Hey, good evening, everybody. As the Charlie Kirk conspiracies swirl around the internet, we have ex-prosecutor Lionel on to get some common sense into the madness. But not only that, to foresee with the accuracy he did with the Diddy case and many others of the problems that may lie ahead in the court system. As this
just for the record, not only Diddy, OJ, Casey Anthony, George Zimmerman. Oh, they went crazy. I said they're going to find him not guilty, and people think that means that I'm for this.
Yeah.
That's remember what I know and what I can prove are two different things. Let me ask you something. What did you have for breakfast today? Can you prove it? And now, if you just say, "Well, I had a bagel and whatever," well, okay, I believe you, but is that proof? Some people might say, "Yeah, that's good enough." Others might say, "No, that's not." So it just depends on a lot of things. Let me also tell you the latest stuff. Can we go through this?
Can I just do a quick disclaimer as well? Because you reminded. So don't get mad at Lionel, folks, because in the past, when Lionel puts himself in the shoes of the defense, people start getting upset with him, thinking he's supporting the person on the stand. He's not. He's just giving a cold, hard look at the facts of what's going to happen here.
Isn't that sad that you even have to do that? I mean, seriously.
Quite often right.
What are these retarded people we got to explain this to? Is like, I don't mean I want. No, listen, I'm used to that. I'm just used to it. And well, let me tell you a couple of things are going to happen. This really throws people off. First of all, don't even know where to start. Let me start off with the most important thing, and I'll tell you what's going on here. And this really blows my mind like nothing I've ever seen before. I cannot believe, Shaun, the number of people, young people that I know who were devastated. It's like they're closet Kirkheads or something. People that I thought were slugs. Kids who is like, no, directionless, barely look you in the eye. And I thought to myself, well, and they said, one guy said, I can't talk about it. I said, talk about what? He said, Charlie Kirk. I said, what? Now, I thought sometimes, as you know, there's something I call auto-mourn. And auto-mourn is this patellar performative pretend reaction to any death. Robert Redford died. No words. Devastate. Okay, stop it. And it's to show you that my loss and my appreciation for loss is greater than your, because I got to outdo you. My loss is great. You think you miss him? Well, not like me. I thought at first it was one of those. Oh no. This is something which blows my mind. I went to a party this weekend and some adults, and one guy told me, he said, you're not going to believe this. He says his son, he's never mentioned Charlie Kirk. Never. Kids, he says, Dad, I want to go to church. He says, who are you? What happened to my son? Were you? People want to go to church. People want now. I was talking to our good friend, my good friend, Peter Lavelle from RT, from Crosstalk. He said, in Moscow, people are going crazy for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk didn't know this. It's like, you know, Joni Mitchell says you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And people, we never realized when Princess died. This is kind of like a performative formation, kind of a hypnosis. People go nuts. Sometimes they're sad. Rudolph Valentino, check that out. Women lost their minds. They committed self-harm upon the hearing of this. So you never know why that is. So that's number one. Number two, the Republican Party of the United States, their conservatives are, idiots. Idiots. They've got this handed to them. And instead, what are they doing? Wasting their time talking about I don't know what. You've got the vultures moving in. You got Ben Shapiro. He wants to move in. Ben Shapiro. These were Christian all due respect. And the latest switch, I don't know if you want to go there with what Max Blumenthal or others are saying regarding APAC and BB and how what they were saying at the end. You can't get away from this. Now, we're not saying, let me say this carefully. I'm not saying that Israel or anybody or France, hey, lay off that stuff, man. It's going to kill you. This early, stuff is going to kill you. Whoa, Bill, what are you powerball? You're powerballing it. Anyway, this nobody's saying they did it, but lo and behold, you have all of these vultures moving in. Ben Shapiro wants to do it. Nick Fuentes, Groypers, no. Even my good friend Alex Jones says, I'll go in there. Wait a minute, Erica Kirk is going to own a piece of real estate that is so valuable, Shaun, because for the longest time in our world here, Republicans had nothing to nobody. I mean, you had the occasional outlier, the one-off who says, yeah, I kind of like him, and Kid Rock, I mean, what was Vanilla Ice busy? I mean, come on. This is different. You've got Turning Point USA. They have chapters at high schools and universities. Tens of thousands of new branches and chapters. This is huge. So the story is, I don't know if you want to go there, but this, we're at the last minute.
I watched the very moving speech that Charlie Kirk's wife gave, and she said something along the lines of that the assassin had, whoever was behind it, had no idea what they'd unleashed, and it was going to amplify his voice and his message and his mission.
It's the old Awaken the Sleeping Giant, the Yamamoto from Pearl Harbor. They've poked the bear, and they've done a lot of things here. But the Democrats, this is the most important. This is the most important thing in the world. By the way, Erica's speech, I'm going to say this with all due respect. I could not have stagecrafted anything better in terms of Hollywood. I'm not saying it wasn't sincere. It was very sincere. But just like Ronald Reagan gave a speech. Remember when our space challenger blew up and Krista McAuliffe, America was devastated. This nice teacher went up and, hi, I'm going to do class. And wow, I mean, people were just, oh my God, what did we do? He, by virtue of, he said, and the bombs of the earth and climbing the sky. He was so fast. I don't even remember what the hell he said, but anyway, but it was riveting. She is very, very good. Do you know what I love the best? They never showed a picture of her kid's face. My wife, who of course from Lynn's Warriors, noticed that they never showed the face of the children. Never. They hid the child. Charlie Kirk, by the way, did you ever see his house? $6 million in Phoenix. This thing looks like a country club. This thing was. I don't know what. I imagine, this poor guy's living out of a little, like a double wide, he's in a double wide in, Arkansas. He's on the back of his pickup truck. This thing looked like a museum. Good for him. This was worth $100 million. He came out and he was terrific. Now, I'm going to say something. When people say, I was never a fan. I'm not the people I watch. He was good. Honestly, I don't know if this is even fair. I thought enough with the transgender thing. Seriously, let's move on. Come on, you're not going to win people. You beat this to death. You're not going to talk somebody out of this. You're not going to say, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I was born a man? Oh, he's right. So, what was I thinking? It doesn't work like that. I think it was enough's enough. But what he did was he basically said things like, I believe in God and I believe in the Lord. Let me tell you what she's going to do. Remember this, folks. Remember this. Uncle Lionel's telling you this. Erica will, number one, meet with the accused, the alleged shooter, just like the Pope met with Mehmet Ali Akka. Remember that? After this guy tried to shoot him, and there's a picture of him inside the cell where the Pope is talking to him. You know what he actually said? The Pope says, Can you give us a minute here? Hang on a minute. Can you give us a minute? I'm going to talk to him. Yeah. Just close the door. Yeah, you can take a picture of it. Let me tell you something. You tried to kill me. I'm the Pope. See that guy next door? See that big old guy? He's gonna turn you inside out. Every night the howls and the screams. And then when I die, I'm gonna haunt you. I'm gonna walk to your house with dragon chains. Anyway, okay, you can open the door now. You got that? Well, anyway, on a lighter note, Erica's gonna say, I'm gonna meet, and she's gonna also say no death penalty. No death penalty. Jesus would not have liked it, Charlie would not have wanted that. But here's the best part. Let's get down to the best. Do you think he did it? Now, wait, listen to what I'm saying. Do you think that Tyler did it? Let's go through this, shall we?
When I saw it, I thought, gotta be a professional hit. And then when they arrested that kid, I was thinking something doesn't add up here.
Have you seen this latest fellow on YouTube? He's a Marine sniper, sniper qualifier. Have you seen this? This video going. I don't know his name. He went through. He had 4 different visions. He's showing things, and at one particular point, he said he had 4 or 5 different vantage points because it all comes down to experts. Give me an expert, not me. I've never hunted. I've never shot anything in my life. I've never been. I like guns. I like pistols, but long barrel thing like that, I don't do that. But give me somebody who does do that. Okay. And there's a couple of pictures. One thing in particular, when you see in the background, he contends very quickly that this sounds like Zapruder again. That this horrible shot, which by the way, please, keep your kids away from this. This is not for children. But when you see this gusher, this geyser, that's an exit wound. That's an exit wound. And that's what I'm thinking. What? He goes, yes, that's not an entrance wound. Exit. Okay. And then in the background, when you see this, you see in the background, and he looks, this guy must have poured over this. You see all of a sudden what appears to be a reflection. He says it's muzzle fire. And if you can imagine, if Charlie is here, it would be this way. It would be to his right from up. And that, now I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I heard this, it sounds like a snap. It's like, they said it was 30-06. I don't know the sound of it, but that seemed to be perfectly timed. That's my thing. Because remember, I like new theories, but I've got to ask a question whether it makes sense. Because remember, I'm just a juror. So it's a whole nother thing too. I say, wait a minute. And if you watch this, you're going to be hearing about it. Alex talked about it, other people as well. But I watched it and I said, wow. Because he's talking about also how the movement of the microphone, and this guy breaks it down. Now, number one, imagine this. You and you're the prosecutor. I'm the defense lawyer. Okay? Closing arguments. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to find Tyler Robinson guilty beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, because, now remember, a lot of the stuff we don't have yet. They're not giving us all the information, but what we've seen so far. You do your thing, and I say, how do you know the rifle was even fired? Let's get to the did anybody ever do this? Was it fired? Oh, they like this. Now remember, please, Shaun Attwood crew, okay? I'm only telling you this to give you another version. I am not saying that I support him. Is that slow enough for your crowd? I'm kidding. They're the sharp as a marble. Now, there is this rifle. They wrapped the towel around it. It had DNA. What is his DNA? Skin cells, buckles? I don't know. Because when I think DNA, I think Bill Clinton and the rest. I'm thinking, he really liked that rifle. Anyway, so there's this rifle. So you're putting a big connector to it. Okay, good. Was it fired? And did we ever recover a round? Was there any ballistics at all? Do we have something? Because, yep, that's the spiraling. That's it. I don't know. We don't know. It looks like it went. I thought, again, because I don't know. Everybody says entrance wounds are like this. Exit wounds are different because of the percussion. Okay, fine. That's number one. How do we know he shot anything? Well, he was on a roof. Was he?
It's interesting about the exit wound, Because when the way he moved, I thought he'd been shot like up here. Because bullets do funny things, don't they? They can travel in weird
Here
directions.
was this story. They said he was wearing Kevlar or body armor, and it went up and then up and all this stuff. There was imagine this. I'm going to do this thing. He had on a, imagine he had an earpiece, and he had something where it was wrapped around something here so that when this earpiece flew off, this thing you see flying off is the earpiece. And when it flew off, it caused this cord, which was underneath his shirt, kind of hidden, to kind of pull up as it flew off. So it looked like it was hit here. That's what I thought. That's one thing that was posited. Again, remember, give me experts who look at things. See, crowdsourced review is fascinating because I've got experts everywhere. I've got retired military. I've got people who were sniper trained from the best schools in the world saying, that's not what happened. That's not it. So
what are they saying? Where are they saying that the bullet went in then, these sniper guys?
Back here, and they came out the neck. Right behind your ear. Right around here. We have to see this, and then travels down, maybe. But the point is, remember, I'm handicapped here because I don't have any kind of forensics. I don't have the ME's report. I don't have entrance. I don't have anything. And you're not going to see that. And if you don't think for 1 minute that these things can't be fixed, I've got 2 words: princess die. Okay? There's all the information you need. You've got, this is when somebody puts this thing together, I don't know. And again, I don't want to read. I want it to be a very simple idea of this kid who was radicalized, who, by the way, was secretly gay, because if you have a roommate who's a man who's transitioning as a little furry, he's a dude. He's a feller. He's not a transition. He's a man, and you're in love with a man who has, you know what? I'm gonna transition. He's a man. I don't know if he was problematic in Utah. Who knows? I don't know. But you notice how the story, he got radicalized. Let me explain something to you. You've radicalized people. You've radicalized me. I don't even know what that word is. Jesus radicalizes people. Education, college, universities radicalizes you. It changes you radically, not in a bad way. But let's go back to this. Show me where he was on that roof. Okay, well, he's jumping down. It looked like he was limping or something. This is his getaway? Some professional hit. This is Israel and Mossad, and everything's Mossad. Oh my God, if it rains, it's Mossad. Enough with this. But he's limping away. He's walking around the neighborhood, picked up on every ring camera in the world. There he is. Interesting, isn't it? He's just walking around. Now, if I want to do something, I would have remember at first they said there were these folks who checked to see whether the airports in the area were shut down. They weren't. They said, aha! Airports, he's walking around. Did he park? Did he drive there? I don't even know what's going on. Now, so we don't know. In the last case in Butler, and by the way, before I forget, why didn't somebody say, all right, because man's got a lot of money and a lot of access to a lot of security, a lot of it. A lot of folks and a lot of security and a lot of people who really want to help him and are there to help him and who are there, who really, really, truly want to help him. And you think somebody would say, we're not going to have Butler again. Give me a drone. Fly around. Let's look on top of roofs. What do you say? And sure enough, the scenario was identical. Somebody says, hey, what's that? Who's that guy? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Again? If that's the story. Because who is it going to be? Now, remember, if this fellow, and you can forget any GoFundMe, people are told, don't you even think about raising $1 for this guy. But if I came in there, or anybody came in there, and let me explain something to you. There's the real lawyer in me wants to forget I don't care if you're Sammy the Bull or you're Tyler Robinson or anybody. If there is a reasonable doubt, I like to find it because that's all I need to do. I don't have to I don't have to prove anything. I don't need to come up with a theory of, well, why would he do that? Cui bono? But why would they? I don't know why. But if I make somebody say, if I cause one little doubt as to the direction of the bullet, because if you say he was over there and I can show, no, it came this way. But remember, Sirhan, or Sirhan, which is the cool one, isn't it? When he killed Bobby Kennedy, Thane Eugene Caesar was the everybody, even Bobby Kennedy said it. He had a shot here. This is Bobby Kennedy, the father, here, and there was a powder stippling or a powder deposition here. This is Bobby Kennedy. Sirhan was over there. That's it. In the Kennedy side, why this? I was like, can I get the not guilty for him right here? You want to stop this? I'm in. He was over there. Yeah, he didn't do it. I've got a doubt. I've got a reasonable doubt. How about in the case of John Kennedy, when there was a bullet around that is entering the windshield or the windscreen in the front? That's it. That's a conspiracy. Not guilty. All right. So this, if I can show one particular doubt, bring in expert after expert, show this the way, get, those gelatin, when you see the way vortices work and how, what an exit wound looks like, and to have expert, just say, I've shown this picture. Remember Building 7? They showed all these experts. What is that? Controlled demolition. What building is it? They didn't even know what building it was. They said, that's a pretty good job. What is that? That's Building 7. Oh, never mind. But if I have witness after witness after witness, and I say, what's this? Exit wound. You can't have an exit wound when the shooter's in front of me. If everybody says, no, it doesn't work like that. And if somebody says, give me the autopsy, give me the pictures, show me the back, because they take a picture of it. Let me see his head. Are we going to do this? Is this the JFK again with the missing? I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm trying not to get ahead, but I'm saying these are the questions I have to ask. And if I, as a defense lawyer, put on one witness and say, you know what? Let's just go, forget this. I'll stipulate everything. Let's put our case on. Witness after witness, front shot. No, it was this way. Now, I also don't know what other people saw, heard, or whatever it is. We may be completely wrong. Okay? Completely wrong. What people will say, this is the most important thing. People will say things like this. Just now somebody wrote, if it hits the brainstem, it doesn't exit. Then it didn't hit the brainstem. As you know, and I say this with all due respect, people love to show you their expertise. They love it. It's like whenever you talk about Israel, what's the first thing you say? USS Liberty. Stop saying that. It's like, what is this, a patellar reaction? Listen, you're not the expert. The bullets go, they bounce around. Who knows? If you saw this and somebody says, entrance wound here, forget the brainstem. Here, entry wound. You can't have an entry wound here if he's on a building here. It doesn't work like that. Now, let me remind everybody, Epstein had two pieces of absolutely critically important evidence which said everything. Number one, this is critical. Number one, it was the idea of, and this is very important, the idea of a shattered or a fractured hyoid bone. And the second was thyroid cartilage. Absolutely 100% indicia of a homicide. Yet to this day, people are still saying, ooh, Bobby Kennedy, ooh, John Kennedy, ooh. So once you give people the first one to give people the narrative wins, because they will lock into that. People love also simplicity, and they want to begin the grieving process. Let me also say something, by the way, another thing. And I discussed this at Lionel Nation. Normally, there is the event followed by the immediate capture of the bad guy. Either he's dispatched, he turned the gun on himself. They always say that. He turned the gun. There was something, well, that's how you could hurt yourself, by turning the gun on yourself. Anyway, that or self-inflicted or whatever it is. But it's always either, interestingly enough, he dispatches himself or it's done for him. In the case of Butler. So you don't have any grieving. Here, you have the chance to grieve. Wait. And then we get the guy. We got him. That was Paul Bremer during Iraq. Remember that when they caught Saddam Hussein? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Remember Paul Bremer? You got him. Then there was poor Kash Patel. Poor Kash Patel. Kash Patel, two of the funniest lines. I don't want to make fun of him, but I will tell you this. Two of the funniest lines. Somebody said he looks like a cartoon hypnotist. Doesn't he? Like he's going to go like this. Look into my eyes. And another one too, the best one is, he looks like Charlie Manson's whispering in his ear. And so he's there like this. So he says, we have him. We have him. We've got him. What? We what? We don't have him. We found him again. We did. No, this time we got. What? Never mind. What are you doing? What is going on here? These are the same people during the Epstein thing. Remember Pam Bondi? I've got these binders. Good. What are you talking about? And we've got documents. I got pages and pages and pages. Can we see him? Beg your pardon? Can you see him? See what? The documents of it. What document? Well, they're not documents, they're lists. Okay, give me the list. Well, they're not lists, they're logs. Oh, give me the logs. Well, they're not logs, they're black book. Well, they're documents. Give me whatever the hell it is you've got. Well, I don't have that anymore. Never mind. And so you also have Bill Barr. You have Bill Barr, who said regarding Epstein, oh, it was a self. And then you had Trump. And then you had Kash Patel. And Dan Bongino saying, oh, I was a public defender. Trust me, I've seen this. All right, so these people, they don't care at all. You would say to me, what are you doing? What happened there? You wouldn't accept this. If you walked into a hospital, what happened to my gran? Well, she wait, hold it, stop. You've got three different things. You wouldn't accept this for your pooch. If your dog got hit by a car, you would expect better from a veterinarian. But for some reason, our brain goes into this mush, and we don't. We just. I don't. Our critical thinking goes out the way. Either he did it or he didn't. So there's this weird thing. So at the time of this, there's Charlie Kirk. Now, meanwhile, every moment we talk about this, the Republican Party are wasting their time. Max Blumenthal said that immediately Bibi put out a message. Wasn't us. That's good. I wasn't asking. But now that you mention it, that's an interesting thing. I had nothing to do with this. Okay. I never said you did, but funny you should bring that up. Because this is the most bizarre thing. But let me tell you something. Going back here. Shaun, in this country, I know in the UK, oh my God, you in the UK, I feel so sorry for you. What they're doing to you, it's not even my heart. I don't know what your thoughts on Tommy Robinson are, but this guy is.
All right, let me interject here and just say a few things then that you've triggered. Please. So I spent several years with a Bonanno associate, multiple homicide, murderer, mafia guy who I wrote his book, actually, the Mafia Philosopher, Two Tonys. And we did a chapter on whacking people and getting rid of the stiffs. And he said his favorite spot was right behind the ear because it circumvented the skull. And it was just, it was a guaranteed kill. And I've also been watching Candace, showing the complete history of her and Kirk. I was quite fascinated by it. He seemed quite innocent, dancing to power. wearing his Kanye West sneakers, sending private messages to Candace. Did he look cool and that kind of thing? And but she's really divulged about how he had a change of heart in certain huge geopolitical issues that could have provided an incentive for what happened. And you touched on, BB. I watched what he said, and it's just strange, isn't it? There's a real focus there right now.
Oh yeah, well there is. Well, let me tell you something about Candace Owens. Is a very smart young lady. She's a loose cannon. She is going to burn herself out so fast. What she's got planned for Brigitte Macron, she doesn't know what's going to hit her. She has no, you know how normally I say, wow, we got a real problem with the prosecution. Not this one. What she's doing, there's something, they're going to, as we say this out, they're going to break it off in her. They're going to teach her a lesson. She went into an area that she didn't have to. Most people say, well, she's the president's wife of France. What's your problem? So what? Yeah, but you understand, she's a man. I was like, okay, take it easy. Everything she says is with the venom and the vitriol. She's like dripping. And the Zionists, okay, Candace, she's got a lot of anger. And I have a thing, Candace hates imposters. She hates imposters because she's been accused of being an imposter. She's been accused of denying her race, whatever that means. They said, you're a white woman trapped in a black body, and you don't even talk, but you don't even look like, and you marry a white guy, and you don't want to be black, unless it's Kanye, which was, how did she, this guy had ding, 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 crazy. There's one thing I can tell by looking at people, pregnant and crazy. And dead too, but mostly. And so she did this. Then she goes after Brigitte Macron. Then she went after Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris isn't black; she's Irish. She's like, okay, look, take it easy. Take whatever her problem is. She hates people who are not authentic. She goes from one thing to the next, and she's just angry. You know who the best is? You ever see Max Blumenthal? Cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. Even Piers Morgan, the rocket scientist. Cool as a cucumber. Never loses. You respect her. She's brave. She's reckless. I'm telling you, she can do whatever she wants. She doesn't pick. Remember this, Shaun, you know this. Pick the hill you want to die on. This better really be important. There was a great movie, Jack Reacher. I love this line. And the first installment with Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise, who granted was a more diminutive person, there was a scene where he's about to this guy wants to fight him. And Tom Cruise is about to kill him. He smashes his testicles and basically turns him into a eunuch that's crippled and can't walk. But before he does that, he turns to me and says, now remember, you wanted this. And then he proceeds to paralyze the guy. That's what you got to ask yourself in this business. You really got to say, you got to ask yourself, this is big. And the bigger you get, the more you want to hit. Let me also tell you what while we're on the subject very quickly, and then we'll move on. She's a lightning rod. And the law firm that's going after her represented Dominion, who got like $800 billion for, the whole voting thing. They don't want to shut her down. They want to shut everybody who's ever touched her. Joe Rogan and this. They want to bring down everybody, because if you had her on and you were you were basically republishing this lunacy, it's a whole other story. Let me tell you something. Alex Jones, what they did to him, redefined defamation in this country. Now, this isn't France. France it's almost not even heard of defamation. No, this is in Delaware. Joe Biden country. That's the jury. That's who's going to decide her fate in Delaware. So good for her. You've also got people who are, President Trump just yesterday sued the New York Times for $15 billion. I'm thinking, for what? I mean, so it's a different world now. So anyway, enough with that. I respect her. I love her. Courage is one thing. Recklessness is another. Pick the hill you want to die on. But
Lionel, isn't the fact that, her friend just got assassinated and she's hammering content that could put her on the same, crosshairs. Isn't that brave?
You think that's brave? Why is that brave? I mean, maybe it is.
She's risking her life, isn't she, saying these things?
Is that brave or is it stupid? What do you think is going to happen from this? Do you think she's going to make a contact? But let me also take another one too. Not only that, let's say we have the Shaun Attwood empire. God forbid, hypothetically now, something's happened to you. And your wife and your family, they want to pick up the pieces and they want to move on. And you are on a juggernaut. You're going to be bigger than ever. Now, I come forward and I say, out of bravery, I say, well, let me tell you what Shaun did. You see, the Jews were coming after him. And then people say, what? Wait a minute, hold it. What? Yeah. Don't you understand that? And he was scared. Oh, he called me up. He said, they're going to kill me. And if somebody says, you know what, maybe this Shaun Attwood Enterprises might not be the best thing posthumously. We'll just give him a nice mask card, a nice donation, and get the hell out of here. So what she's doing in her bravery may be showing this other side of Charlie. And would he want this known? You know, to me, one thing. First of all, you got to understand something. I am loyal to a fault. I am immorally loyal. If little Zeke, right? If he was involved in this, would you turn him in?
Little Zeke?
Yeah.
Little Ziggy.
Ziggy. I call him Zeke.
Ziggy.
Would Ziggy, what the hell? Zach, Ziggy. Don't change the subject. The point is, would you, I don't get any sleep, honey. Please forget it. Would you turn your son in?
No,
would you do
my son in? No.
Well, this father did. He says, hey, look at this. Oh, is this you? Yeah. Oh, I got to call somebody to get, hello, friend, pastor. Okay. We got to do something. I think this is my son. What? That's like, I was the only one. They hated my guts when they got the Unabomber. When Ted Kaczynski's brother ratted him out, I said, this is his brother? People said, but he's terrible. I said, this is his brother? You don't do that to your family. You say, you know what? I'm going to do my best to clobber him, sedate him, get him. But what? I don't understand this.
What do you make then of the phone call Candace got from Trump regarding Macron? And she protected the fact that it was Charlie Kirk who acted as the intermediary for that, but now she's revealed that.
Why? First of all, what's Trump thinking? Why are you revealing this? I called you. Did you think I wanted you to tell people this? So what she's telling people is, don't talk to her. Get away from her. You don't know what she's going to say. See, let me tell you something, Shaun. You can trust me. I don't know anything. I'm so good. My wife will tell you. I'll just change the subject. You will talk to me and you'll think he doesn't know anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't go out of my way. I don't want to prove to anybody that I'm the biggest, baddest platform, and people call me. If the president of the United States calls me, the last thing you're going to hear is me say, you know who just called me? That's it. I'm done. Because if you ever need him, if you ever need a pardon or I don't know what, wouldn't it be nice to have the president of the United States as your friend? But oh no, I'm brave. I'm stupid. What are you doing? You can't be trusted. And it's not like it's like, there's an expression in Sicilian. If you can get in trouble for saying a little, think what happens if you say a lot. Why do we sit back and we say, hey, this is good with a popcorn. Isn't that great what Candace said? Go ahead, Candace. Come on. And then when they lower the boom and she gets some $20 billion verdict because you've got this woman who is the president, you've got the full faith, force, and credit of a globalist cabal just to teach you a lesson, to send it out. And let me tell you who else is next in that response. Michelle Obama, Big Mike. You think she's tired of that crap? Oh, if it works for her, this will take the whole notion of political satire and change it drastically. So we are on the verge. See, it was axiomatic in American jurisprudence that if you were a public figure, you could forget suing anybody. Forget it. You're a public figure. You can't prove malice. Really? And especially when Brigitte, I don't know if you can take this, but imagine this. I called her. I said to her, please, Candace, don't tell they're laughing at me. This is my daughter. This is my brother. No, your brother, you fear the father. I can't even follow this. That's not your brother. You're his father. It's like, Luke, I'm your father. Was it Star Wars? I can't follow this. And they're saying, please, Candace, one more time, a retraction. I'm not going to retract your crazy because I'm brave. Please, one more time, I beg you to do your best to me. Please, I beg you. Okay. And then you say, pow. State your name for the record. My name is Dr. Shaun Attwood, and I'm the gynecologist of Brigitte Macron. Is she a woman? Is she ever? I know her pudenda like I know the back of my hand. She is a woman. Here is her uterus. Would you like to show me this? What about that? Take that, Candace. You want to get into this? Of all the things to say, you lost it for what? Over somebody of a woman? This was not something big like, whether the New World Order and this, that would be something. But this is what, and remember, people, they will always say, remember what happened to her? Remember there was a guy years ago, you probably don't know this, but in the world of talk radio, his name was the Grease Man. And the Grease Man told a joke that everybody heard on Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm not going to do it now, but everybody knew this joke, and it was crude, and it was horrible, and it was one of those things that it's kind of funny because it's horrible. Anyway, he thought he'd say it. It was the first, I forget the year. Political correctness wasn't even invented that. It was that day. This guy was destroyed. And in my business, in our business, in the talk radio, see, remember what happened to the Grease Man? Remember what happened? So they're going to be saying, remember what happened to Candace? Remember what happened to Candace? But anyway, now we go back to reality. Ask yourself this question. Tell me, and again, you and I, but what we have heard. Question number one, why is any prosecutor going on TV and telling anything? If there's a bunch of Discord people who are talking, why am I showing screen grabs or whatever it is so that they know, lawyer up and get out of town? And also, have you ever heard people getting so close to, do you ever watch The Sopranos? Remember when they were in the basement when this one guy was wired and Tony didn't say, he goes, hey, you know what? They got the Vinny two-time, Vinny Lugats. Uh-huh. Yeah. They, what do you think about that, Tony? Huh. No, Tony, what do you think about that? Because he's wired and Tony never says anything. Well, this is one of these things where this confession is, hey guys, I'm sorry, I was there. And what were you doing there? Hey, I'm sorry. I told him if I were to meet you again, and sometimes the situation it presents itself. And therefore, see, there's an admission and a confession. For example, burglary in the United States. Burglary is the entering or remaining in a building, structure, or conveyance with the intent to commit an offense therein. That's burglary. So if I said, I went to the Attwood manse and the Masonette, and I entered or remained with the intention of committing an offense therein, that's a confession. If I said, I entered, I went there, that was me. It was you. What? In that Ring camera. That was me in the photo. What is this, a code? What do you give me a code? Is this some Attwood? Did you learn that with the mafia too? Does this being like, watch it, buddy? Anyway, so look at these confessions. Now remember, he can't take the stand. And let me also tell you, what's the chance of him getting Epstein? If all of a sudden he disappears, we're not talking about this anymore. And nobody's going to be crying. And nobody's going to be saying anything. And people are going to say, well, there he was. Young man, couldn't take the pressure. Hell, he's going out with his boyfriend of his wearing a damn fuzzy hat on. She thinks he's a fur ball. Man's a nut. got these transgender nuts. And they say, well, we knew he was crazy, right? What are you going to do? And we just learned from Epstein. I mean, this guy could be shackled with round, and they say, very clever, he did this. One more thing. Have you ever heard of this reaction of all these people who came out of nowhere screaming out of nowhere, these people who are doctors and lawyers and guards, and this mass formation hypnosis. Have you followed this? It's if those of you who like Gustave Le Bon and who like other forms of this, it's this insanity where people in a performative scrum say, it's like a good day, and they're laughing and dancing, and they're sitting in, and they're it's like Candace talking about, Brigitte. I said, wait a minute, take it easy. And they not only hate, they didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, but they're laughing and laughing and laughing. So anyway, all of a sudden, is this free speech? Of course it is. Well, all of a sudden, it went like that. And guess what happened? All of a sudden, those of us who got tired of being shelved because of COVID, tired of being told, you're not wearing a mask, losing our jobs, losing our this, losing our... We said, get them. And on X, it's not doxing. Doxing is a different story. But if you say, Shaun Attwood says, and the code word is, make him famous. Shaun Attwood happens to work at Brindley's bakery. He's a dishwasher on the weekend, and he make him famous because you've just done this. And now the next thing he says, they fired me. Now there's consequence. Here's another one. They're going to claim insurance benefits, or unemployment benefits. They're going to claim, well, you fired me, and if you normally fire me, I can put a claim in for unemployment insurance, right? Not if they fire you for cause. There was a case of a woman in New Jersey. Nice, this very nice blonde hospital employee. This doctor writes something horrible. She complains. They fire her. Well, that changed. He's gone. She's now, I think she's president of the hospital. This after Irina, this poor girl, Ukrainian, again, neck. Coincidence? Probably. With this lunatic named DeCarlos, the guilty, demented. This guy who says, I got a white girl. People are saying, we've had enough of this. And there's 3-4 black guys. And I don't even think they knew what was going on because it was a straight. Anyway, all we know is now that was different because, first of all, it was a poor girl, came from Ukraine. We thought everybody, the lefties, loved Ukraine. Oh, give them all the money they want to get. They're Ukraine. She had to take this light rail, which is like a mini train, because she didn't have a driver's license. If you're an illegal alien in United States, hell, they give you commercial drivers. Do you hear about that guy in India, from India, driving a 18-wheeler, killed all these people? Anyway, so there she is. We were horrified by that. But we said, what are you going to do? He's a lunatic. He's a nut. He's schizophrenic. It's horrible. It's terrible. We thought, we cannot be any more saddened by this. This poor girl. It broke our heart. She was there like this, like, what is happening to me? Minding her own business. And this guy, and he says, I got me a white girl. And there it is, as clear as it. Now, people are like this. Now, another one too is, remember Sydney Sweeney, this case of this Sydney Sweeney for this jeans commercial. I've got good genes. And they said, oh, you're a eugenicist, some kind of a Mengele, like, with your, and we're like, she's a blonde girl with blue eyes. What's wrong with that? Then this one, a blonde girl with blue eyes, because she's white. And all of a sudden, white folks says, we're getting sick of this. And then recently in the United States, there is this proliferation, this resurgence of white girl Southern sororities. I mean, like Barbies and blue. I mean, and the folks who are seething. And guess who the ones who hate this amount? These weird, angry, unmarried, incel-like, cat lady, lunatic, radical, sapphic. They've got more pronouns, whatever. They hate everybody. When you see them, and I can spot them a mile away. When I see somebody who's got a long ponytail, gray hair, Birkenstocks with slides, oh, they're all over the place. So anyway, there's this anger. You don't understand. A lot of people said, I've been told that I'm supposed to be shut up because I'm white and I've got white privilege. I don't know what the white privilege are. This thing is going to blow. You're going to see people who just have had it. Then we have these people. I don't know if you had it, but a while back, a lot of urban types and kids will wear hoodies. That was a sign that you were a hood. You were a thug walking around with a hood. You know what the uniform of complete, total mental depravity is now? A bonnet. It is I'm sorry to say this, it is the African-American headgear. It's like a shower cap. Maybe you don't remember this, but anybody watching, remember in the 60s where your mother had like a hair dryer? She put this big, like a shower cap and hooked the hose onto it. And 3 hours later, her hair was dry. Well, this like a Jiffy Pop thing on her head. When you see this, that's a sign of I've lost my mind. And we have these stories in takeaways, as you would call them, or Chipotle's or McDonald's, and somebody says, I didn't get a barbecue sauce. I might think, they pick up a chair and throw it, and there's a riot. But I'm not supposed to say anything. I said, who are these people? Don't say anything. Now, if they were a bunch of white folks with MAGA hats, to be called neo-Nazi nationalists, I'm telling you, Shaun, I've never seen it like it. And people are going like this. This place is going to explode. There is going to be, I don't know what. And Trump is just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then this sort of was it. But now they're saying it's the left. And what the left is doing is they're doubling down. We had the Emmys the other night. And two things are happening. Number one, we have a radicalized lunacy regarding, that's really going to kill you. I'm telling you, you're a young man and you're throwing your life away with that devil juice. Anyway, there are people who have some good points to be made regarding Palestinian rights and the atrocities going on there, but they take it too far. They make you hate this. And they're back to award shows. Javier Bardem, he single-handedly, he's gonna put an end to this. And I'm not saying he's wrong, but why don't you send 1 million? Oh no, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna wear my keffiyeh and go like this. And this lunatic gave this speech. So we're having it. We're tired of the left. So the other night, Shaun, Americans don't get off their ass to do anything. Maybe 4th of July fireworks, maybe Halloween trick-or-treating. That's it. Maybe go to a game, maybe go to a concert. In New Jersey, the bluest of the blue states, there were candlelight vigils for Charlie. There's going to be one at the Phoenix, home of the Cardinals. Trump's coming. There are people, NASCAR, NFL, not all but some. The NFL, by the way, who they say, what are you going to do? The ones who celebrated the National Football League, our football, the phony, but Kaepernick and others who would take a knee during the national anthem. There is this movement. You've got a whole bunch of people now, thousands and thousands of newly minted conservative American young people recognizing Jesus and Christ. Let me tell you something. I'm as irreligious as you can get. I'm not an atheist. I'm just irreligious. I don't speak French. I have nothing against it. I just don't understand it. But I think this is a great thing. When you see young people who are talking about family and getting married and responsibility and being a father and being a citizen and paying homage, paying credit to something other than their own pitiful, miserable selves. This is exciting. And then they're saying, by the way, what would Charlie do? You remember Je suis Charlie? Remember that? Remember Charlie Hebdo? I am Charlie. We are Charlie. What would Charlie do? We're having a, is that another signal you're giving me? One of these weird, some other ship. We have a guy running for mayor in New York. His name is Zoran Mamdani. How about that? And he is the prototypical radical left lunatic, whatever it is. And this guy is being nobody. They said, well, maybe he's got some points. Maybe he got some points. Now I'm saying, what would Charlie do? Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. I don't know if you know enough of the characters, but a person who's running, who is an old friend of mine, his name is Curtis Lewa. Wears a red beret, guardian angels, crime fighter. They always say he doesn't have a chance. I'm not so sure anymore, because Charlie would vote for him. Charlie would want this. Charlie would want there to be anything. You're going to see a sea change in terms of reproductive rights, pro-choice. His presence changes everything. I'm telling you, we have never seen anything like this before. That's this plate on the stick that we're spinning. The other plate is the reaction towards transgenders, crazy, what they're doing to children, how they're walking around in furry. I had this older fellow the other day. He said, "Can you tell me what is with that guy? Did you see his girlfriend?" Well, it's not his girlfriend. Well, whatever it is. His boyfriend is, well, whatever. Anyway, she calls herself a furry. Can you explain that to me? What the hell's a furry? What is that? I said, well, it's a fetishistic performative. You mean they're plumb crazy? Yeah. Try explaining to this. I never had furries. They're walking around these I don't know what this is. It seems like people are sitting around creating new dimensions, new iterations of insanity that nobody's ever heard before. Remember, for a while there was this group who fashioned themselves. They followed My Little Pony. Remember this one? It was a documentary of all the things in the world. Let me get this straight. What? My Little Pony. So I got to dress up in a furry hat. What if during the summer I got to wear this hat? It's demented. And the left, instead of basically saying, why don't we have a good issue or two that we can focus on? Instead, they're worrying on these lunatics. Let me tell you something. This is a sea change. And I'll leave you with this, my friend, because we're getting at that time. There we go again. There we go. It's a third base coach, Oh, you heard that. The people standing behind Charlie, they were giving all these signals. Can you imagine? Can you imagine standing behind him and say, I'm not going to stand behind him. Yeah, stand behind him and give the shooter a kick. No, I'm not going to stand behind. 1 millimeter off converts to like 30 feet, 200. No, I don't think they did that. But they were going, no, look, it wasn't like that. What is he, Don Drysdale in third base? No. But you are going to see a case that is not necessarily as strong as you think. And we, the conspiracists, or my group, the Conspiratorium, it is up to us to say, let me give you an alternative version, because you're going to see people who come forward who are experts in the like. And don't forget the final words of Dr. Hunter S. Thompson. When the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. And the going just got weird. And there's nobody better. We do this for fun. We will take your reality and split it into levels. It's like the photon that splits into waves and particles. We will throw some quantum supersymmetry at you. You won't know what hit you when we get done, because we have an open mind. We're able to say that this is, we're not a conspiracy, as Gore Vidal says, we're not a conspiracy theorist, we're a conspiracy analyst. We've been told this before. Our first rule is believe nothing the government tells you. Nothing. They've never told you the truth about anything. They can't do it. They're pathological liars. The truth hurts them. So don't listen. We'll do it. And just remember, what would Charlie do? What would Charlie do? That changes everything.
Huge thank you, my friend. Don't forget to subscribe to Lionel's channel. Link is in the description box if you're watching on replay and putting it in the live chat now. Also, his X and Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. So I will let you go and close the show. Take care, my friend. Cheerio.
All the best. What would Charlie do? All the best.
Ta-ra. Bye-bye. What a great guest, guys. Thank you for joining in and watching this evening. And we have got a big lineup tomorrow. So, do you remember Zachary King? He's back tomorrow, folks. Part 3. Zachary King escaping from Satanic Elites with Lauren at 6 p.m. UK tomorrow. Probably, I reckon that's going to be 90 minutes to 2 hours. Do you remember Murray, the survivor's advocate out of Australia? She's coming back tomorrow for a part 3 at 10 a.m. UK. Also with Lauren. And the title is Epstein Ring Unalived Exposed. We've got Epstein, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew Maxwell on the thumbnail. So that is looking good. And I'm going to reach out to Hamamoto as well. I'm going to see if Hamamoto's doing anything on Kirk and see if we can get him on in the next few nights. Yeah, Mary is she lived near one of Virginia's properties in Australia, and she contacted us, remember? So anyway, bedtime here in the UK. Have a great rest of your day.